Hello and welcome to hobby vlog number 82. Now this week I have taken a much needed rest. I have done much less than I normally do, certainly less than last week, which was just insane. I've spent a lot of time down in the painting area, finishing off some projects which you'll see, like Fimbul and the Cleric, which is a lot of fun, and also painting up some other projects which aren't included in this video. I have got onto the model railway. I've spent a bit of time every day on there, which is my target, but it's been slow going because it's been finishing things off, so which you'll see, but not making massive progress. But still, the progress I did make on one evening was just out of this world, and I'm really looking forward to you seeing that. It's been a good week. It's really important sometimes just to take a step back and take some time for yourself and not feel pressure, particularly when you've got a YouTube channel. Sometimes you can feel pressure to create things, and I've just enjoyed this week just not worrying about it anymore, and it's been good. And I can tell you what, as I stand here now, I feel quite energized, and I reckon the next week's going to be quite a busy one. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate the fact that you've tuned in to watch this. It's really awesome. And do pop a comment below, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you, and I do reply to all my comments. And yeah, I'll see you again at the end, and please do enjoy this video. I'm entering the home straight now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint the door with the raw umber that I like to use for treated wood, which will not take long, so I'll just do it while I'm on camera. Once that's done, I'm actually going to just leave it overnight, because maybe the next step is going to be literally just to stick the horse in and be done. But I might think about doing some more detailing, I'm not sure. It's Sunday night now, so technically should be finishing up tomorrow. But yeah, I've done it. You know, look at it, there it is. There's the gates of Troy, and there's going to be a horse in the front. So I could just leave it at that. Nice and simple and effective, but I might do something a bit more advanced as well. I'm not sure. I might put some stones on and what have you, just put a bit of rubble. I'm not sure, but there we are. We've done the doorway, done the sand. All I need to do now really is stick the horse on. So this is dried. So what I'm going to do now is glue the actual horse in place. And then I'll decide afterwards whether I'm going to do any dressing up. But again, it's done. It's not brilliant. It certainly isn't up to the standard that I normally would try to achieve. It's a little plain, but it does what it says on the tin. And I mainly wanted to try to sculpt the horse, which is what I mainly spent my time doing, obviously. So I'll let that dry. Just glued that down with some PVA. One idea I've got is that I might get some thread and just have some threads draping down from the sides of it and pulled on the floor to look like that's where they drag it with. So I might do that, but if not, then I won't. I'll see how I feel. Today is the final day, so I've got to finish it today. So I think I'll either do some more ropes, or that'll be it done. It's time to paint up the base for Treebeard. I haven't yet done Merry and Pippin, so I'll have to do that this week. What I've got is I've got my little tray of goodies over there, a little bit of PVA glue to dip them in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use tufts and other things to dress up this base. So I'll leave the camera running. I don't know how much of it I'll record, because I might end up just picking the base up and moving it around a bit. It might go out of shot, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Basically, I'm just going to kind of work away at making it really colourful and really striking, because I want this to look beautiful. So yeah, I'll pop some music on and show you a bit of it, and then we'll have a look at what it looks like when it's finished.
Rasta. I was left here with my yesterdays, always thinking what I'd thrown away.
So now we come to sticking, hopefully successfully, Treebeard to this base. Now I'm going to try with just PVA at first, because it's a little bit more forgiving, but I may need to actually support Treebeard while it goes off. Now I do have super glue as well, so one thought I had was that I could super glue to get an initial grab, and then the PVA would then go off and hold it long term. So that's what I think I might do. Hopefully it'll work. I don't really want to have to stand here and hold it. I do have a clamp that I could use. You won't be shocked to hear, but what would be better is if this just held like that, and then once that's gone off, then the PVA can be left overnight to go off properly and actually be the bind. So I'm going to stand here for a few minutes and wait for that super glue to get a grab, and then I'll be back. Probably the next thing will be to show you what it looks like when Mary and Pippin are done, because they're currently on my painting bench and doing them for my 20 minutes, so they should be done in the next day or two, and then this will be finished. And not just that, it'll be finished in time to be entered into the Paint All the Minis painting challenge thing, which is what triggered this, which is wasn't born yesterday, and Treebeard clearly wasn't born yesterday, was he? There we are. While I've been nattering, that has nearly gone off, so it won't take me much longer now. So I'm going to stand here, get this done, and I'll bring you back to show you what it looks like when he has his two little passengers. Well, I've run out of fencing and I'm in the middle of painting up some more, so what I'm going to do now is make a start on detailing this front section, which I can do now. And what I've done is I've gathered together all of the trees which I currently own, shop bought ones really. I haven't got any that I think are good enough that I've made myself. Well, I may have to at some point, but this is what I've got right now, so this is what I'm going to have to use. And some of these I've had for many, many years. Like this one you can see here, which is pretty battered, but that's actually pretty realistic actually. I don't actually mind that, so that's going to go on the layout like it is. I might have to dust it with some PVA to secure, because even bits are falling off, as you can see just there at the bottom. And if we have a look inside the box which it came in, there's lots and lots of material that have fallen off it. That would be quite good for bushes and for small trees, so I'm quite happy with that. What I've got here is a Scale Scenics set of 3 tree armatures. They're basically weeping willows, and they are pretty battered. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to use any of those, particularly not at this stage. If I do get a river or something, I might put one on. I really love weeping willows, but I think they're a bit dead. This one, however, is okay, so I'll be able to make use of that, I think. And then I have ones that I bought more recently. So these are the apple trees that I bought for Apple Tree Farm. Now I look at them, they're huge. And I don't think that I really wanted them to be that big, but that's fine. They will do for now. So what will happen is there will be one planted right here. That will be the apple tree. And I might put another one at the back here. What I then have is some of the briar patch, dry brown and green, and that will be going more towards kind of the edges along the side of the model railway, of the actual railway, line, and over the back of the hill, and maybe even on top of the removal section. And then here I have something I bought. I'm not really normally a fan of these type of trees, but I think they'll work okay for infill, but mainly it was because of this cool tractor, which isn't focusing on very well because of the light, but yeah. So, and then back here, these pots have some homemade bushes, so some made with foam and paint and PVA, a couple of years back now. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time now just working out where things are going to go, and what I'll do, I'm not going to run the camera while I'm doing that because it'll be a bit of a dull process, but I'm aiming on getting some of this done now, and actually getting a few things glued in. So when I wrap up for the evening, we'll have another quick look at where I've got to and how this has progressed. There we are, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of fun, and I'm starting to like how that's looking. Obviously everything is still very wet, there's a lot of glue still visible, but what I've got is I've got the main tree here, which appears in quite a lot of the stories. I walk underneath it. It's on the wrong side of the road on this. It should be on the other side of the road, but that's fine, bit of artistic license. Then we have a bunch of apple trees in the garden, including one that I got from a wargaming set that I have, which I thought looked quite nice as a bit of variety. Then one of the rubbish trees that came with the tractor. They really are rubbish. I don't think I'm going to use very many of them. Maybe a couple that look like this. And then the damaged tree, which I think has a lot of character. I really like how it looks. It looks like it's been lopped, been looked after, a little bit maintenance. And then what I've done is I've taken some of the armatures from that and used them in various places, like here, just above the tunnel. You can see we've got a bit of a bush growing there. And then I've used my homemade clump foliage to run along the hedges, the fences. And hide the fences, and you can see it's still very wet with paint, and also over there by the pond. So yeah, very, very pleased with how that's come out. Actually, just a little bit of effort. What I need to do is keep on with this. I kind of paused again this week. I've not done very much hobbying at all this week for various reasons, but having this now starting to really come together is just really giving me a big boost, put a big smile on my face, which I've needed, and I think that's really starting to look very, very cool indeed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Rosie seeing this tomorrow. I am ongoing with the fences, as I've said, so hopefully I'll finish painting them and get some more fences around the place, including the gate and everything, and then I can continue with this as well, because while there's a little bit more I could do, there's actually not that much more I can do until I finish a little bit more of the fences. So a very welcome little burst of actual hobbying, and really, really liking how that looks. So for the past couple of nights I've been painting up the path, and originally it was just going to be stones, but as I've gone on I've decided this is actually a tiled path, which I think is going to look very nice. This was a bit of an experiment, it could have gone very, very wrong, but I'm rather pleased with how that looks. So you can see there that I've got basically boat varnish, yacht varnish, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put at least one, if not two, coats of yacht varnish over this to hopefully make it nice and shiny. And once this is dried, then I'll be able to come in and do the flocking and all of the detail around the edge. So hopefully this works, because if it doesn't I'll be a bit sad, because it's taken me days to do this. Not lots of time each day, but yeah, it's a bit of a dull process, dotting colours on. So I'll apply that now. At least one coat, if not two, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, and then we'll finish this off. We're nearly finished now on this. So I have these excellent prints from Solomon Kane, which I want to put on the wall, and I'm going to do that now. Got these framed at local framer, very, very cheap. Actually got corrugated cardboard backing, but it doesn't matter because when they're on the wall, they look absolutely lovely. The frames are perfect for these artworks. My aim is to have these at eye height so you can really get in and see the detail. I don't want to be too high up. We have very high ceilings, as you can probably see, but we'll put other artwork up there eventually. So for now, what we're going to do is have a picture here and a picture here, and then on that side of the wall, just behind the camera, there's two uprights between three windows, and I'll have a picture between each one. And I think that'll look really nice. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll show you what it looks like. Well, there we are. We have the frames in place on the wall, and I think they look really, really nice. I've measured them so they're exactly the right height, and I checked with Angela that I got them right. I'll pan the camera around and we'll have a look at the other pictures that are on the wall. Don't know how well that'll come out because they're next to windows, but let's see. So here we have the first one. You can see it is between two windows, and I'm struggling with the exposure. And then I will swing the camera to the right again. Yeah, that's not going to expose very nicely at all, but there's the other picture as well. So I'm really, really pleased, love how they look, very happy with them to be where they are, and it's good to have them up on the wall. So here I am, live on screen, trying something for the first time without having tested it. So hopefully this will work. So what I've got is I've got myself some toothpicks, and I've got a little bit of PVA. And what I wanted to do is just to add a little bit of dust in areas on this base, which is for the Cleric. So it's a technique of weathering that I've heard about but never tried, which I'm just giving a go for this. And basically I'm going to be putting a little bit of PVA in places using the toothpick to make sure that it only goes in a very small area where I want it to. And then what I'll be doing is I'll be coming along and dumping it in and covering it with grout. and hopefully it'll work. Now, I do know that what you can do is put the grout on where you want to and then spritz it with water. But to do that, you need to basically be able to position the grout correctly. And that's what I would struggle to do. So here is my grout. I have it pre-sifted. And what I'll do, it's very, very fine grout, is just that. And then just tap it around and then shake it off. Just trying to go for a dusty look. Can literally dip it in to get it everywhere. And there we are. We have a nice dusty look. So hopefully that is going to work out nicely. I will let that to dry and then I will hopefully mount the figure. I am so happy with how this has turned out. It just looks beautiful, really like shiny tiles for the path. So what I'm going to do now is the last few bits. I'm going to leave this mainly bare. I want it to look like a really colourful path going through quite a dead area. So what I have over here is some Geek Gaming Scenics dead grass tufts. I've got these wheat tufts that look really good as dead grass as well, and just for a little bit of colour I've got these blue and kind of pinky tufts as well from Serious Play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them in place where I want them to be on the sides of the path, and then the next thing will be to glue Fimbul on, and then we'll be done, which is really cool. So I'm going to put a couple of tufts at the front here. I don't want to have too much at the front because I don't want to obscure Fimbul. So I'll make use of these tufts. And what I do, I won't film all of this because it's pretty repetitive, but what I do is I always dip tufts into a little bit of PVA just to help them adhere and stick, because while they are self-adhesive, it's not always the most adhesive thing ever in the world. So I always have a little bit of PVA and just use that to help. So a couple of dead grass tufts, and then what I'll do is I'll go along, do the Serious Play. I've got my bradawl because these actually poke through, so let me show you how that works. So we'll poke a hole here into the what's it. There we are, we've got a hole there. Pull one of these out and I will then dip that in PVA and press that onto the hole, and hopefully that will stick. They're not the greatest things in the world, these JTT scenery products tufts, but this isn't a gaming piece, so it's fine. So anyway, so I'm going to crack on with this and I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like when it's done and when Fimbul's stuck on. Alright, there we are. So I've done the base. As you can see, we've got some tufts. It looks great. And what I'm now going to do is get Fimbul in place, and that's just going to be done with some super glue, and I may need to use some spray because I don't have very much time now, because I've just had a lovely afternoon nap because I'm a old man now, and I need to get down and go and have some time with Rosie. So if this doesn't stick quickly, I will use a little bit of activator on him. But yeah, there we are, that's done now, that's finished. So I will get this to stick and then I'll take some pictures as well. Yeah, really pleased with how the base has come out. It's absolutely wonderful. As is often the case with this homemade flocky kind of clump foliage, I'm finding that I'm having to soak it over and over again with water down PVA, which is a bit frustrating because yeah, it takes a lot of time, but it will be better. I want it to be quite hard wearing so that Rosie can come along and say, I want to touch that, and I don't have to go, oh no, because it might move. Obviously normally on a model railway you don't have to care about the hands all over it, but when you're doing it for your 2-year-old daughter, you do. So you can see that there's not much more happened apart from multiple applications of glue. I have actually nearly finished painting up the next sections of fence, so I'll be able to finish off the fencing, and that'll be the next thing to do. And I have ordered some more cool stuff to come along. So a tree which is going to go in there, I think, but that will take a couple of weeks to get to me because that's how things are. So yeah, still really cool, and Rosie loved it. She really loves what it looks like. And there we are, the Cleric is on her base and is looking really good. That base has come up really nicely. Like I say, this was from a Kickstarter I backed for base toppers, as it happens, but I just enlarged it to a size I thought would suit and she would fit on, and she fits on perfectly, and I think that really does make her look quite dramatic. So that can now go onto my shelf. It's obviously only done as a display piece, but I'm very happy. The print came out really nicely. I think it's R&E Studio, so I highly recommend them. If you want to buy some of their stuff, it comes out very nicely, self-supported, and yeah, really pleased with how that's painted up, and then how the base has turned out as well. So here is the other attempt, the other one which I did, which is using double-sided tape. So I've just finished. Hopefully everything is dry. What I'm doing is I'm coming along, I'm having to use a scraper to actually get in, as you can see. Partially because of slightly messy application by me, but also because this is so much closer to the base and is actually very firmly stuck in. So I'm going to need to use this to extract it from the base, to separate the two. I'm going to do that now off camera because it's a bit awkward, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I've finished Treebeard, and here he is in Welling Hall with the other Treebeard and the other Ents that I made. Great fun, that build, and I'm very pleased with how Treebeard's turned out. The base looks brilliant, the paint job's good, the assembly was a pain, as you know, but well worth it, and as I thought might be the case, I've forgotten about it. It's not really part of my thinking about this model now. It's just looking at it and thinking how brilliant it looks. And what is really nice is having this element here, which Rosie picked up and gave me. So I always love that, to have something of hers shown. Yeah, really dynamic sculpt, and that's where he's going to stay now. He'll sit in Welling Hall with the other Ents. I do have another couple to paint up and assemble at some point, but yeah, pretty hefty army of Ents now. And I've really enjoyed painting this one up. I need to get quick beam, obviously I haven't got a quick beam yet, so that's one more I need to pick up at some point. Not sure when that'll happen. But yeah, there we are, Treebeard done. This week I've also managed to finish basing up these figures. I need to paint the rims, which I'll do now, but they're looking great. I'm really enjoying these Moonstone figures. You can see that I've put some crystals on a couple of the bases as well. There will be a little bit to add to these, might even be done today, but not in time for this vlog. I've got some mushrooms that I started painting up last night, which I would like to put on a couple of the bases, just to add a little bit of interest. But yeah, very cool sculpts, very fun to paint, and yeah, I really hope that I can actually get a game with this in. So here we are, end of the video, and we're stood by the bingo sheet again, and that's because I can cross something off. As you've just seen, I've finished Treebeard, and that means I can cross off Paint a Monster or Siege Engine, because Treebeard is a monster, so that's really good. So another checkbox on my hobby bingo. I've got to crack on with this, really, though, to be fair. It's I've been a little bit lax. I haven't really been painting very much Hobbit stuff or Lord of the Rings stuff recently, so I'm going to have to focus back on this, I think, and get a little bit more painting on that done. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, it has been a really enjoyable week for me in terms of just taking a step back, not feeling like I have to do anything at all for any projects, which I don't, and so I've just enjoyed having a bit of a break, but I'm feeling like I thought I would, quite energised. I'm looking forward to cracking on this week, starting the next Battle Games Middle Earth build. I've finished the one that will be out on Tuesday, so I'm looking forward to that. I certainly am looking forward to it going live, and I'm looking forward to next month's as well. So that will be starting this week, and maybe even I'll try to get a start on the Tabletop Crafters United Discord challenge, which I have one more month left on, and I've just let a whole month go past and haven't even started it. And I know what I'm going to do, but yeah, just decided not to. Why not? So thanks for watching, and as always, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.